Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, I am just going to ask Spirit to guide me in these readings. There are many things to read on, and I'm just going to ask Spirit to guide me. And so right away I hear read on the things that I wonder about, because they may be the same kinds of things you wonder about. All right. Okay. Well, first and foremost, is it going to be all right? That's what I wonder. When I see all of these crazy conspiracy theories being floated by our president and people who are associated with him, it just it's frightening, isn't it? And so, is it going to be all right? Well, we have the Death card. We have the Temperance Angel. We have the Hope card. All right. Well, these two, so gradually, be hopeful, gradually. But what's this Death card? I guess that's saying, what do you mean by all right? I guess that's, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And the U.S. is not doing well with it. 200,000 dead. It depends upon which. I go to Worldometer, and it's over 200,000 there, but the CDC says less than 200,000 a little bit. But regardless, we are in the middle of a pandemic. I'm going to ask for clarification about this Death card. Debate. Struggle. Okay, so I feel like that is right. I mean, some of the same things that we have been hearing about with protests, those who come, armed militia who come in and they think they're protecting the police or governmental buildings or something, but really they're wanting to find trouble. They're looking for a cohesive Antifa group that wants to fight, and they're not really finding that because, it's just really not to say there aren't Antifa members or those on the fringe left that have done crimes and even violent crimes. There are, but it's not equivalent, right? There are a lot more far right, fringe right, domestic terror kinds of groups, and not just one person here, two people here. It's so I think there is going to be more of that. Yes, he does incite that kind of thing with his rhetoric. Yes. Tell us a little more about that, please, Spirit, so we can sort of know what to expect. Well, we have the Hanged Man. It's because of the delay in coming into a new administration. I mean, we're not at election day yet, for one thing. Inauguration's usually January for another. And there could be a real good chance that Trump will resist leaving and demand this recount and challenge that and, sue over this and sue that state over that to hold up ballots. So, in other words, there will be more protests regarding that kind of thing. A lot of, in the press, a lot of hot rhetoric and outrage in the press. Yeah, fevered pitch. It will increase. Okay. 6 of Coins. However, little bit of security. 2 of Wands. Both parties are still in the mix. Ace of Cups. A lot of, and then, okay, yeah. And I think this is sometimes emotion, but it's also, ever since it was a lot of dirt is there in readings about the Trump administration and investigations into it, I see that sometimes is a lot of dirt. In other words, yeah, this is we are in the birth pangs. We will be in the birth pangs. We got the Star card, Hope. We got the Temperance Angel. We can call on angels to help us through that. I do feel like it's not like going to be everywhere. We are going to see more protests with more violence at the protests. So, that is more of the same, but yet I feel like with that death card coming up, I do feel like there will be some really, some remarkable instances of that are, they're all remarkable, but that are more extreme. But I don't see like it happening everywhere. But I do see protests that, Spirit, can you give some guidance to us? Those of us who would not mind attending peaceful protests, would like to attend peaceful protests. What's guidance for us? The Emperor, follow all laws. Okay, follow all laws. If there's a curfew and they say clear out before curfew is done, do that. Okay. And that's good. So the daytime protests will continue to be relatively peaceful, these peaceful protests. A lot of this stuff will happen in the undercover of darkness. Okay. The Chariot. Well, here's the deal, though. The whole thing is moved forward by the protests. The protests are very effective. They're helpful. They're moving it all forward. And sure, people are taking things in two different directions a little bit, but they're worthwhile. Okay, the 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's just a lot will be going on at once across the nation. So it's not like there's that in every protest. But there will be some violent actions in some protests, probably after dark. Follow all the rules. Make sure that you're with the group that is following the laws. All right. Okay. So this can be done safely, Spirit. Yeah, in those cases, it's just political debate. There will be hot political debate at those. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. But that's part of a healthy democracy. 10 of Coins. So there are a lot of, by and large, the folks showing up at the peaceful protests are, they're 10 of Coins type of people. They're community members. They have some stability built up. They may, they want stability for their family. They want stability for the nation. They want security. It's important to them. So, yeah. So in other words, hang with them. Okay. Hang with the peaceful protesters. They're not going to, because all this happens sort of organically, doesn't it? I mean, it gets whipped up more and more and more. And that a lot of times is after dark. Right. Okay. Well, this is good to know. But we get the Wheel of Fortune. It's time for more truth to be coming out and for the wheel to turn. So in other words, all this scary stuff that is in the news and scary stuff coming out of the mouths of so many who are in positions of power in our government, now the wheel's going to turn on them. This wheel is going to turn and we will be into a new era. Hallelujah. Sometimes you wonder a little bit, right? But then we get that star card, be hopeful, and we get the Temperance Angel. So, okay. By and large, we will be moving forward in a sort of temperate way, in other words. Okay. Good to know. All right. Well, Spirit, is there anything else you want to tell us about, just the future of our nation? Oh my gosh, we got it again. The Wheel of Fortune. It's a new era. It's an era of tearing down and rebuilding, I think. And the Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords. I do think that's maybe a lot of dirt there. There are things we're going to fight. We're going to have to face and grieve. And, it's nothing that will surprise most of us who have been paying close attention, right? Three of Swords. It's nothing new. It's troubles that have been there. But it's going, we're going to be hearing more about that. There's going to be a lot more exposure of that. So we are heading into it, and it's going to be a lot of hard work, which I think for a lot of people, it will feel, okay, that's right though. I think for a lot of people, it will feel better than this era, the end of this era is feeling, where we're just, feeling kind of helpless about what to do here. So that is coming to an end, that feeling of helplessness. And we're not helpless anyway. We never are. We might feel like it because more and more outrageous things get said from the administration. So we might feel like we are, but we're not. Our protests do matter. Our opinions do matter. Our votes do matter. A lot. I think there's an effort to make us think they don't, but they do. We have a lot of power, right? Think about it. What the Republican senators have done for Trump because they want his base to vote for them. They need his base to vote for them. Think about that. We all have that power as voters. We all have that power as voters. So, yeah, we have to organize and show up. Okay. All right, Spirit. What else should we know? I just want to ask about the future of, what else is going to be happening in the next several months, years? Page of Swords. Oh boy, a lot of whistleblowers. A lot of people with inside information. Oh my gosh, it comes out now, doesn't it? With all the leakers and all of the whistleblowers and all of the, yes, audio tape, right? This can be the spy in some ways. Although you can't call it, Woodward did all this on the record, all these tapes, but it's sort of like inside, a speech that somebody wasn't thinking of too fully, that wasn't well thought out. That's all coming out. If we think it's coming out now, oh boy, what's going to come out when Trump's not in power anymore? Oh my gosh. It's going to be, whew. But, we do still have some very wealthy moneyed interests who want stability, don't want things shaken up too much. Strength. Let's stay strong. Let's, calm everyone down. Let's make everybody think there wasn't anything that bad. We'll still have that too. Okay. 10 of Swords. What's that? High Priestess. Okay. I feel like that's spiritual energy. I feel like that's spiritual energy saying enough. Enough. 10 is completion. Like, this is enough. And it's time. That's also behind that wheel turning. Yeah. 2 of Coins, though, we still will have Democrats and Republicans. We absolutely will. If we think the Republican Party is going bye-bye in the next 2 years, no, it's not. Okay. Although I do think there will be restructuring of some sort coming in. In fact, I kind of think in the years to come, the U.S. is going to go to a system, rank order voting. It's already being used in some states. And I think that will happen, and that will open things up for other parties. So I do think we're heading to changes in like the coming decade. I do think we will be seeing these changes starting. So that'll be interesting. It'll change things. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Spirit, I do feel a bit better. Any advice to us, to the American citizens? 4 of Cups. Let's see what that. 8 of Cups. Empress. Okay. Well, I did ask about all the citizens, didn't I? There are some not receiving a message. They're just not going to receive it. They're not understanding it. They're right now. But the 8 of Cups, this time of separating ourselves out and social distancing, actually is helping in an odd sort of way. Okay? There is a new beginning brewing. So we get things like the Star card. We get things like the Empress. We get things like the Wheel of Fortune, the Temperance Angel. These are excellent major arcana to be getting. Yes. And, you know, the difficult ones, we got that Death card. We got that Ten of Swords, minor arcana. But the difficult ones are all about completion and the end of things that are, you know, and endings. So it's very consistent, really, isn't it? We go through some difficult things still, but when there's movement in that wheel, when we feel it starting to turn, that is actually going to be encouraging. Okay. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. I just wanted to do this kind of general energies kind of reading, and I do feel better. Thank you all. I hope you do too. Take care. Bye-bye.